This is what we do every day. With the rise of globalization, the world becomes a smaller place. There's more travel, there's more trade, there are more opportunities for jobs and businesses. Imagine thousands and thousands of people traveling between countries daily, be it for leisure or for work. Truckloads of goods being shipped in and out across borders, all on a tight and demanding schedule. For 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is what happens at the Sultan Iskandar Building, CIQ Complex in Johor Bahru, the main southern gateway of the country and processing point for people, vehicles and goods coming from and going to Singapore. Every day, this CIQ complex sees easily 200,000 people commute between Singapore and Malaysia. And these figures only keep increasing every year. Hence, managing all this and ensuring everything runs smoothly is no easy task. Today, this facility is managed by Global Facilities Management, GFM, and we have been doing so successfully for over 5 years. At GFM, our role is to manage the various systems and services within the complex, ensuring that they are delivered reliably. This key requirement enables the government's core business to operate 24/7 without interruption, allowing all the departments within to run efficiently and productively, enabling them to deliver a better experience and quality of service to the Rakyat. To provide an idea of the scale of this undertaking, the facility covers a total built-up area of 2.5 million square feet and houses 22 different government agencies under one roof, in addition to GFM's 200 on-site staff, supported by over 500 contract personnel performing third-party service functions. Management of the facility also encompasses these following areas: car check booths, motorcycle check booths, bus inspection booths, heavy vehicle inspection booths, the passenger hall, the quarantine area, administrative and operational offices. At GFM, we are very proud of our facility management of the CIQ complex. Over the years, we have built for ourselves a proven and reliable track record, achieving 100% of all our KPIs set by the government. Looking to the future, we not only want to maintain this level of achievement, but also strive for continuous improvement. To us, the people we serve always come first. This includes our stakeholders, which consists of the scores of people that transit daily, businesses that rely on us, and the government that has placed their trust in us. With this in mind, GFM will be undertaking and implementing new initiatives that will increase the efficiency of all our processes, provide an even better experience to the public, and deliver better value to the government. These new initiatives will also lead to the government saving millions of ringgit every year on operational cost. Let us continue to serve Malaysia. We have consistently met the target for customer satisfaction and work on a performance-based contract. We focus on energy-conscious operations and have secured a second star under ASEAN Energy Management System, AEMAS Awards. The resulting improvements will result in a better welcome experience for foreign visitors entering via the complex and a facility all Malaysians can be proud of. We will modernize operations by incorporating new technologies in our service delivery systems, tools and materials. This will be aligned with the National IoT Strategic Roadmap, National Big Data Analytics Framework, and National Data Ocean Framework. Certifications. Awards and international recognition. Thank you, and we look forward to serving Malaysia for many more years to come.
This is where it begins. A place where she can dive into her dreams and swim against the current to reach her goal.
It is a starting point of a journey to explore uncharted territories, to use new knowledge for the best of mankind.
Immersing in sustainable lifestyle, where you can feel the breeze on your skin. It's times like this that makes you feel alive. A time to create. A time to capture precious moments.
Where dreams are no longer just a dream, but the beginnings of a new reality. This is where I harness my potential.
This is where I explore possibilities.
This is where I expand my mind.
This is where her story begins. This is EduCity.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. Welcome everyone to the Jumpstart Your Career Talk or JYC Talk by EduCity. I am Imanina and I'll be your MC for today. A warm welcome and thank you to our participants today. Also to the viewers who are watching EduCity Series 2, Jumpstart Your Career Talk stream on EduCity official Facebook. We had completed the first series of JYC Talk by our Managing Director, Encik Wan Ahmad Saifuddin on 30th August. Have you missed that? No worries, as we have uploaded the webinar on EduCity official YouTube channel. So, the second series will feature Encik Mahmud Sairan, the Head of Advisory and Consultancy of GFM Solutions Sdn Bhd, as the speaker. And it will be moderated by Encik Najhan Rahim, the Deputy Director of Institute Dato' On. So in today's episode, we will discuss the topic of facilities management, the unsung heroes. I am sure that many of us are unaware of how facilities management can be one of the hidden gems in our career pathway. So what are we waiting for, right? Without further ado, I will pass the session to our moderator for today, Encik Najhan Rahim, to start the session. Over to you, Encik Najhan.
Thank you very much, Ms. Iman, for the brief introduction. Here we are with me, Najhan Rahim, moderator for this session for the topic Facilities Management, the Unsung Heroes. So today with us, EduCity brought a great speaker, Mr. Mahmud Sairan, the Head of Advisory and Consultancy from Global Facilities Management Solution. How are you, Mr. Mahmud?
Hi, Mr. Najhan. How are you? I'm good here. Yeah.
All right. Are you in care right now?
Yes, I am. I am.
The weather is okay over there?
Weather is a bit cloudy, sometimes rainy, sometimes sunshine. it's all a mix, you know.
Yeah, in Johor here we experience heavy rain in the morning, and in the afternoon maybe we see some some sun lah, hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay, so the topic here, what we're about to listen from you, the facilities management, the unsung heroes. Okay, I'm sure you have a lot of experience and a lot of things to talk about facilities management as a career, and why does it called the unsung heroes? Now, from the video that they showed just now about the BSI, and they mentioned GFM has been, the main contractor for the operation and all that for more than 5 years. So I would like very much to hear about your experience, how you manage I think one of the busiest gate entrance in the world, if not lah kan, one day around 200,000 commuters. So I mean that's a lot lah. Okay, so maybe before we start, you can share what about yourself? I mean, where are you from, and how long have you been in the GFM solution? What are your backgrounds? Before we talk about the facilities management, Mr. Mahmud.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Encik Najhan. Thank you, our MC for the day, Miss Iman. And I would also like to give a big thank you to EduCity in particular, for inviting me for this session representing GFM to talk about facilities management, the unsung hero. In fact, the topic itself, I'm truly touched and humbly appreciate, very appreciate the fact that you put that title that is very much, trying to uplift this facility management industry. We take this as a compliment, and we take it as this is a testimony of facility management contribution to the society. Yeah, thank you very much for that. A little bit a brief introduction about myself. My name is Mahmud Sairan. I am 49 years old, born and raised from a tiny little town known as Tangkak, Johor. I'm holding an IC of 01, by the way. Okay. Started my education journey, back in my sekolah kebangsaan in kampung. Then I moved to secondary school, sekolah menengah sains semua, not far from Tangkak. Currently it is the same district. Used to be
Samura, is it?
Yeah, Samura. It used to be from going from Tangkak to Muar, but now they are all in the same district. A little bit geography lesson there. Okay, and then I got the opportunity to further my study at UITM, and eventually I pursued my degree at RMIT, Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, getting on a Bachelor of Engineering in Chemical Engineering. Okay. I am now married with 3 children, 3 beautiful children, and currently I'm living in Kajang, Selangor. And for your information, I've been in the workforce for about 24 years, close to 25 years.
Wow.
And one interesting fact, I've been in GFM, of all these 24 years of working experience, I've been in GFM for about 18 plus years.
18 plus years. Wow, that's so
and that's my current job. Job. So
if you have a children, your children will be like graduated already. What, 18 years?
Yeah, they were born in GFM time, I would say so.
GFM product.
Yeah, GFM product.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about me, a little bit about me. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mahmud. So, wow, you're a Johorian. I'm surprised to see that you are a Johorian. So I'm hoping that you are planning coming back to Johor, serve Johor, maybe later on.
Not really, inshallah.
Okay, so that's about it for the introduction of Mr. Mahmud, our speaker for today. So I think without further ado, the floor is you, Mr. Mahmud, to talk about the facilities management, the unsung hero. Please, we welcome you, Mr. Mahmud.
Thank you. Okay. Before I start, I just want to welcome everyone everyone, the viewers, and also those participating in this session. I've got a slot for about 20 to 30 minutes, so I'll try not to run over the time so that we can have much more engagement later on in the Q&A session. I can start my slide now with I can start session here, please. So, as mentioned earlier, this is part of LGT Jumpstart Your Career Talk series number 2. And the title for today's presentation by myself is Facilities Management, the Unsung Hero. Let's go through the content of it a little bit. Just want to brief you on the content. Next slide. Yeah, a little bit of my introduction, which is on the job side of introduction. Later on, I'll talk about facilities management, what it is in brief, what are the latest trends, and more important for you guys, the viewers, and also participant today. Let's talk about the knowledge and competency in FM, because I think that is very much, things that probably most of us are looking forward to in terms of career development and whatnot. And finally, a little bit of tips in what is it that makes us a successful career in our facility management. Yeah, so let's begin with a little bit background of myself and my working career. Next slide. Yep. Next slide. Okay, as just continuation from my introduction just now, my name is Mahfud Sairan. I am now working with Global Facilities Management, which I will touch a bit on the company later on. You can actually, the professional and as a person, you can basically find me easily on Google. You don't have to worry, because if you Google my name, Mahfud Sairan, there's not so many words that will appear as Mahfud Sairan. So immediately you will see not more than 2 pages of Mahfud Sairan, and it's all about me. Which is, fortunately, I have that luxury of having unique names, so you can easily find me on Google. Other than that, you can also basically get in touch with me through LinkedIn and also Facebook, and that's about it as far as social media is concerned. I don't really active so much in other social media platform, but I suppose this would be adequate, to reach out to me and to reach out to you. Right. Next is about my working journey. If you listen to a band called Aerosmith, there is this song called Amazing. And one of the lyrics there, it says, life's a journey, not a destination. I can never tell just what tomorrow brings. So I always take my working career as a journey, I started in 1997, right after graduation. I joined a company called Propel Johnson Controls, or in short PJC. Not PJCT, but it is a company that is in PJ, in Petaling Jaya. I mentioned earlier I graduated as a chemical engineer, but I must be honest with you. The moment I started my working career, I didn't really practice my engineering degree at all. I went to my first job doing quality management system, doing ISO, and then I move on, add a little bit on safety and health and environment. Then after spending about 5 years in Propel Johnson, I moved to another company. These are basically a support services company. Back then they call it support services company. Facilities management wasn't really in existence, so to say, back then, because it was more known as support services industry back then. So I move on to SSP Medical Technologies, another organization or company that is actually doing one specific discipline in facilities management, that is hospital support services in biomedical equipment, maintenance and upkeeping. Then after a while, I tried to move away from facilities management, but not far off from facilities management. I joined Beta Strategies, a construction company, for a short stint before I finally arrived in JFM in 2003. I will explain about the JFM a little bit later. And JFM is basically very much a facilities management company from the beginning. I spent my career there since 2003 until now. A lot happening, a lot of activities, rules, and functions that I have to carry out throughout this journey in JFM, and I will share all these things later on what it means to be a person who are basically spending their time and in their working career in facilities management company. Okay, let's move on. So, what is facilities management? To the viewers, I would like to touch a bit on facilities management in terms of its definition, as you can see in the next slide. Facilities management, what it is defined basically is if you look around in the journal or in the publication, it says it is an organizational function that integrates people, place, processes, in the built environment to improve the quality of life, productivity, and so on. Okay, I am fine with that, but what I'm trying to say today is basically what it means by facilities management is a service that is allowing any organization or any companies or any businesses to basically give focus on their core business. If you are a hospital, you focus on healthcare services. If you are education in education business, you focus on teaching and learning. So the non-core business is what facility management are doing. That being said, we do things like managing the hard services, mechanical, electrical, civil, engineering stuff. Making sure the lights is on, the air conditioning are there, the power supplies are there, water supplies are available, made available, making sure that your field are green for you to do sporting activities, making sure the floors are clean and all those things. So this is what basically facility management is. That is why initially or earlier years, they call it support services. And we still do that support services role and function. It's just that the way we wanted to move away from this boring kind of backroom function into something that's much more, much more significant, or something that is much more appreciative in that sense, is that facility management has moved from just a purely support service a business into a business that is putting facilities management in a much more strategic position as far as the client organization is concerned, whereby we become partners in a way. You do your core business, I help you out with other things. We must share the common vision. We must share the common strategy, so that whatever that we do as a support service provider, as a facility manager, will help you excel in your main business. So that is how facility management is currently seen and currently positioning ourselves as a business, so that it is no longer a backroom function so much. It is no longer unglamorous, boring services that will not basically attract talent. So that is basically what we are trying to do as a facility management organization and business. We want to attract talent. We want to make sure this is an exciting job, and we want to make sure that the client benefit from our services. So that is basically facility management. Next up, let's talk about a little bit of my company, my organization that I'm working with, which I am very proud of working with JFM. That reflects my 18 years here since 2003. GFM or Global Facilities Management, we started in 2000. Okay, at the turn of the century, this organization was formed as Global Facilities Management Sdn Bhd, and from our humble beginning, we slowly but gradually climb up to a position now whereby we have become a listed company in 2017, and we are proud to say that we are one of the major facility management service provider in Malaysia, among the major facility management services provider in Malaysia. You can Google JFM, you can go to our website, and you can also follow us on LinkedIn to find out more about JFM. Okay, let's move on. So what do we do as facility management in JFM? We have a few disciplinary, or rather a few role and responsibilities that we offer our service to the client. Yeah? One of it is basically facility management consultancy and advisory, giving advice, giving guidelines to people who would want to do facility management, and also to help client improve their built environment, their facilities, their building. So that is one area. Another area is basically the facility management operation, where we do provide hard services and soft services, things like environmental management, operation and maintenance of the building, from the mechanical, electrical, and civil aspect of it, property management and ICT as well. And the other aspect of our service delivery is basically soft services, and cleaning, catering, food and beverages. We even do laundry and linen services, at certain projects or certain contracts, and security services, among other things. Anything that is non-core to the organization is basically what we can offer. Okay, we move on to the next slide. So, as a service provider, we are very much looking into making sure that we are into the latest trend in our service delivery, because it is important. As we all know, technologies are changing, things are changing, and we can't be stuck in a traditional way of doing things. And that's what brings us to this next point that I'm making in the next slide, which is embracing technology. You may be surprised that even though we are a facilities management company, like the way I explained just now, even in the video you can see that we are doing a lot of get your hands dirty kind of activity. But actually, in doing so, to be aligned with times and to be aligned with technologies, we do have a lot of activities or involvement in terms of technology upgrades or featuring technologies in our services. Because with the emergence of digital technology, actually it helps a lot in terms of facility management service delivery. It allows us to carry our tasks, processes more efficiently, freeing up time, so that we can do a lot more value-adding activity to the client. It can also basically improve the standing of professional in the world of business. As I said earlier, we wouldn't want to be seen as backroom function. With the technology involved in our service delivery, it basically alleviate the profession, because it is very much relevant to technology. In doing maintenance, in doing cleaning, in doing reporting, in making sure the systems are working, it all involves a lot of technology these days. And GFM, we are very much into making sure that we are updated with all this technology movement and technology advancement throughout the industry and throughout the facilities. Okay, so that we can make better decisions. We can understand the client better through our feedback and comments from the client through interaction via technology. improve the way we report things. We used to be doing a lot of papers. This day, it's all in the clouds. It's all available through electronic media and so on. And most important point that I want to make here is that in facilities management, without technology, basically, it slows down a lot of things. If you have problems, if you have issues, you may be responding to it in a slow pace without technology. And with technology, you can predict things. Yeah, you can respond remotely. So it's not only that it is efficient; it is also interesting things. Right. So that is on technology and facilities management. Next slide is about how we do this. I mean, I've been talking about technology and FM. So what is it? For example, if you look at anywhere, you go to school, you go to universities, workplace, I think you are very much familiar with building automation system or bus system. So that is one way that we basically induce technology in our service delivery. Things have becoming more automated. You have CCTV got connected to your control room, wireless, and then you have this Internet of Things that controls your lighting, controls your air conditioning, temperature, humidity, and so on. And you even have voice command control for light, your projector, air conditioning, and so on. So this is basically what facility management use in terms of technology and advancement in facility. And another thing, another cool feature that we have in facility management service delivery is computerized maintenance management system via mobile. As I said earlier, we're no longer running around, the technician is no longer running around bringing paper here and there, getting people to sign off things. It's all done via mobile application. You can just snap picture, say to the client that things are done, and the client basically can sign off online. So that those are the things that we do as far as technology. And on that note, I would like to share with you a short video on our IoT project, just to give you a glimpse of how technology helps us in facility management. Can we have that video now? All right, thank you. So that is basically one example of how we utilize IoT in our facility management services. That example given there was basically one of our rehabilitation center, so-called hospital healthcare facilities, whereby we basically put on sensors on certain area so that we can monitor the performance of our services or our system. And the good things about this is that not only they monitor, it can also be tweaked and automatically set and regulated without human intervention. So those are are the examples of IoT that we have in our facility management service delivery. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I would like to touch a bit on knowledge and competency, because maybe some of you might wonder, what does it take for me to become to join FM organizations? Okay, let's look at the tabulation or the slides on competency. Okay. Throughout the world, facility management is not uncommon. Okay, everywhere in the region, be it in the US, in the UK or Euro area, Australia, and our own country, Malaysia, facility management has become, I would say, most sought after in terms of career and also services, because the more developed our world is, or the countries are, the more facilities, the more assets have been built, and they require facility management services to be rendered. And as a facility management team, overall, okay, we need to have this competency to make ourselves complete, be it from operation management, emergency, preparedness, leadership, planning, project management, quality, performance management, quality management, and so on. So these are the competency that facility management team would require. Let's move on to the next slide. So from this competency, what does that mean is, if we are up there looking for job and interested to know about facility, to join facility management organization, actually the opportunity to be part of facility management team are huge. Yeah, you can either be in the FM operational team with multidisciplinary skill set required. You can be in the corporate office, where you can be more in terms of being a technical team, or eventually, as you stay on in the facility management organization, you may filling in position at a senior level. So there's a very broad technical and as well as other skill sets, multidisciplinary skill sets that is required for FM organization in total. So it's a very big opportunity pool of career and job opportunities in facilities management, to be honest with you. Let's move on to the next slide. This is basically just to summarize how learning courses in the university, for example, from accounting, architecture, all the way to quantity surveying, law and information system, can basically fit into FM job. Because as I said earlier, facility management is not just about technical services. The facility management organization will require accountant, administrator, auditors, you name it. Yeah, probably not a doctor yet lah, but at least there are so many multidisciplinary areas that most of you might be interested on and would want to be part of the FM team. Okay, so let's move on to the next. This is basically to translate what I just said. Being in a facility management team, not necessarily boring. It's getting more and more interesting this day. You can do a lot of things with colleagues and so on. Just like any other ordinary organization. It's not just very much a function anymore. Okay, I think I'm coming to the last part of my presentation, which is how we can build a good, successful FM career. I have some illustration here. Basically, I don't want to spend much on this. To build a successful career, be it in facility management or in any other industry, I believe in three things. Work is not a hobby. It is not a hobby. Work is basically a responsibility. So when it is a responsibility, you've got to have a good balance, in terms of carrying out your responsibility and also carrying out something for yourself, earning something for yourself. So I believe that to be a good or successful person, be it in facility management or somewhere else, you got to make sure that you choose the work that, rewarding you in terms of financial stability. You must be enjoying doing it. Otherwise, you may be dragging your feet into the office or to your workplace. And another thing is you must make sure that whatever career or job that you choose is something that at the end of the day you feel happy about it and you feel fulfilled. Yeah? You feel you accomplished something. You feel you are contributing something. So that's how I see it. Yeah? So back to facility management, that being the foundation set, back to facility management. My next slide, which is the last slide, is basically telling you if you want to be part of facility management organization, you can start considering this skill set. Be it in terms of interpersonal skill, workplace management, and also additional skill like networking capabilities or abilities, to mingle with people, technical savvy and so on. So yeah, there are courses offered by some universities in this. This is basically just for you to make sure you can strengthen your ability to become, or rather to your skill set to become a facility management team. Even though you are an accounting background, architecture background, or any other background that is not FM of FM origin, you can always harness this via additional courses, or you can actually do what I did. I joined an FM company with my engineering background. But what I did is actually along the way you can learn all this skill, all this knowledge and whatnot that can help you excel in FM organization. I think it will be a lot of fun. And with that, I think I will end my session. I open this to Q&A. Back to you, Mr. Najhan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahfud. I have not realized that it was like so fast. Your presentation is so interesting that I've lost sense of time. And suddenly you finish presenting already. Okay, so
sorry if I overshoot my time. I really apologize.
No worries. We're on time. Okay, we have not opened the Q&A yet, but already there are 3 questions already. But before we move on to the Q&A from the audience, I have some questions to ask to you, because I did some research about facilities management, because it is quite new for me. Like you, I'm also a graduate of engineering and chemistry lah. But then I didn't practice my engineering, so working in the government sector. So I think more or less I understand your passion towards not engineering.
So I am not alone, I guess.
Yeah, you're not alone. Don't worry. Okay, so you mentioned GFM or facilities management is a multidisciplinary position or sector, and there are a lot of, the skill sets are so broad. Like doctor, you really have to know medical and whatnot, very specific. But FM, like your presentation, is the skill set are so broad. Okay, and one of the things that when this is not a specialized sector or specialized position, it is quite hard for you or for the organization to hire people. So maybe my first question would be like, what are the criteria or skill set, specific skill set that you look for when hiring people to join facilities management?
Okay, thank you. That is a very valid question, and probably would require quite an indirect answer to it. Okay, let me put it this way. Facilities management has 2 distinct disciplines that you have to master in general. One is the technical discipline, dealing with building equipment, machines, and the other part is the soft skill, dealing with people, because to me, facility management is a 50-50 between human interaction and building interaction. Okay, it used to be all building and technical, but this day is all about engagement with people. So when we hire people, or when we hire a facility management team, we have to look at what is it that we want to be on board of the team. If we are looking for those people in the technical side of we will probably look at people with engineering background. Okay, for example, if we are managing facilities that are not only filled with technical features, maybe we have to look into people from hospitality background, for example, people with business and financial capability, for example. So it all depends on what sort of facilities you manage. I give you one example. If you are managing an oil and gas plant, obviously you are heavy on the technical side. But if you are managing a shopping complex, for example, it will be heavy on the human side. So it really depends on what sort of facilities you are managing, and then you choose which criteria or which skill set that is best for you to fill into that project.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Wow, that's I think it makes sense lah kan. If the position is focused on the building, you will be looking more on the technical side, right? So for people, human interaction. Okay. So there are a few questions here. Go straight away lah kan. I pick from Zhao Yun Tian. Okay. From NMUC. I think NMUC is like a maritime university, National Maritime University. So the question is about, okay, right. Do maritime students have job opportunities in GFM? And the next question from the same person, are other races welcome to be part of your company or the industry itself? Please.
Thank you. Very interesting question there. Very interesting question. Thank you from Yun Xian, I suppose. Yun Xian.
Zhao Yun.
Okay. First question. Is there any opportunity for maritime student?
Maritime student,
GFM. Okay. My answer would be there is always be a possibility and opportunity. And this is not just a sugar-coating thing, yeah? Realistically, okay, assuming maritime student having maritime background, okay. But why I say it's possible is that number one, we can start from, because in FM organization or in GFM for this matter, we do have places for intern. That is the first step, An intern basically selected from students who want to have experience in facilities management. So that being said, normally as an intern, we don't really, the prerequisite will not be so much on the courses that you do, but it's more into what it is suitable in terms of things that we can assign you while you are being an intern. And from there, we basically pick up your talent, whether you have that capability, whether you have that suitability to join the organization for permanently or for long term. So I think, yes, there is this opportunity, but we look at it starting from an intern, assuming that this is a maritime background student. But if maritime background student also is actually having courses that is much more relevant to building facilities, that is an added advantage. Meaning to say,
you are like managing a port or something,
yes,
right?
We are managing ports. Yeah. So if that kind of specific discipline that you are actually having as a maritime student, there is always opportunity for that. Okay, that is the first question. I hope it answers. Number two is how about racial consideration? Okay. Well, just to be honest, we are Bumi Putra company. Status is Bumi Putra company. That would mean it is a directorship is Bumi Putra, majority is Bumi Putra company. But as you know, we move from Sdn Bhd to listed company. So that what that means is that we are much more public company, where the shareholders is basically the public, and there is always even before we listed, we have a worry. I can tell you about this because I joined JFM from the beginning. Our worry is that we will become a Bumi Putra company not only in the status but also in the position of our workforce. The reason actually we have been gearing up and campaigning, to have a much more broader, in terms of racial balance in the organization. In a way, we are successful in doing so. It's just that I've got to be frank with you, the person who are asking me this question, also the viewer in general. If you look at facility management company in Malaysia, first thing first, majority of the facility management companies are Bumi Putra company. And if you look at the workforce who are, much more attracted to work in this support services industry or support services, mostly either Bumi Putra or a foreigner with some certain skill set or subject matter expert. So I think it is not just about GFM, wanting or campaigning to have a much more racial balance, but also the industry itself. Because it seems like facility management is much more attracted to the one race, I should say, and not to attract other people. But all in all, we have Mr. Sabi, we have Madam Suli, who is actually part of our JFM organization. So that being said, yes, there is always opportunity for work in JFM if you are maritime graduates or student, and we are also multiracial and very much open to any race. Come and join us.
All right. Okay. Well, what a detailed answers. So speaking of intern, just now you mentioned that people with multiple background can join first as an intern. So there's this one question from Shaima Rosdin. Okay, how to apply in this GFM after graduating diploma? Can we get trained in this company as an intern, probably?
Yes, the answer is yes. Saima, okay. Just bear in mind, of course, internship, normally we advise somebody who would be interested to join us or to become our intern to work together with the department. I mean, is your education department, because this is how things work. Normally we are working business to business. We do collaborate with certain universities. So that will be a much better way if we do that. Come right away to your department head or your department in charge, and things can be brought up to us in a very much efficient and effective manner, rather than you go like applying individually. I mean, I salute your effort if you do it individually, but it may not generate a good result. Okay, that is one. Number two, if you are a graduate diploma, okay, definitely yes. Again, it is like the way I answered my first question just now. What is you are currently having? What position that suits you? But diploma is not an issue, because we are taking employees right from certificate level to master and PhD level. So the diploma is very much welcome.
All right. It's not like the government sector where if you have a diploma, you will start at certain grade and degree like certain grade, right? It's quite open lah in GFM.
In a way, we have job grade or we have a salary grade. But what I'm saying is that the majority of our workforce, put it this way, the majority of our workforce is basically 30% executive and 70% non-executive. That means if you are at diploma level, then most likely you are qualified for the executive level. So the only challenge there is basically a competition, I would say.
Yep.
Because these big graduates coming in year after year, like waterfall.
Yeah, every year we have around 200 to 250,000 degrees graduates in Malaysia only. Okay, that's just the roughly estimation or statistic. Okay, so you mentioned about salary. I have one prepared question from myself. Okay, about salary. You mentioned from your last slide about the illustration of the 19 years or 18 plus years working in GFN because of happy and fulfilled life and career choices. The second one is doing work you enjoy, and the last one is the financial stability. Okay, so I think this is the people want to know what is the benefit in a kind working in GFM and the salary grade, for example, in non-executive and in the executive position. Because this thing is quite important when you want to look for a job that might be, like you for the rest of your working career, probably in GFM, right? 19 years. So maybe you can enlighten us about the benefit and the salary part.
I'm going to be careful with my answer, otherwise my HR will come and get me for revealing things that is not supposed to be revealed. But anyway, I'll try to answer your question, Mr. Najhan, as satisfactory as possible. Okay.
All right.
As an FM organization, I would say our salary package and our benefit in kind are very much competitive. Competitive in that sense, it is there. It is there. Why I say that is this. Every year, every now and then, there are employee turnover. People coming in, going out. Interesting fact about GFM, somehow, when people left, they will always ask to come back, asking for this for them to come back. Why? And then when I ask why, there are two reasons given. One is I find working in GFM is much better in terms of people interaction, the bonding between staff as compared to when I left. That's
the working environment lah.
Yeah. That's number one. Number two is that, when I joined this A company or B company, I thought I'm going to get a better dental package than JFM. But it turns out, even for my outpatient, for a clinic outpatient for my daughter also, I cannot cover. So what does that mean is that, then we realized, that being said, meaning to say there is something that attracted people to GFM in terms of benefit in kind and also salary. But that is in terms of benefit in kind. In terms of salary, as I said, it is quite competitive. But of course, this is very much subjective. Yeah. Sometimes, let's say you have your entry level engineer at 2K, I would say, just an example, 2K for example. If you are hired by GFM in KL for 2K and you are hired by GFM in Tapa for 2K, because we have salary range of that scale for junior entry, you may find in that offer in GFM is not that attractive in KL. But if you are living in Tapa, you live with your parents,
Yep.
Yeah, that could be acceptable. So to me, that is very much subjective. Yeah. So
Okay.
I look at it this way, and I would say we are competitive. Yeah,
All right. Safe answer.
we say answer.
So to summary, it's like working in JFM. We will get like very good working environment, and you will be well compensated for your services. Am I correct?
I would say
All
so.
right.
I
Okay.
agree with you.
I'll try to put a safe answer for you as well.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. So before we going for the another question, your earlier video show about like day-to-day working operation in the BSI, right? So me personally would like to know what is your day-to-day working operation. Do you like working working in FM, is it like 8 to 5 clock in, clock out working environment, or we like flexible time, or what are the day-to-day operation in first investment, especially in JFM, because you mentioned it is a support service, and by support service, I think we be like 24/7 punya operation lah. So maybe you can explain a little bit more on the day-to-day routine.
Okay, this is going to cost you time. Cost you time because it is quite diverse. As diverse as the position, the work arrangement is also quite diverse in that sense. Let's start with project sites, managing a facility. If you have facilities like Bangunan Sultan Iskandar in Johor Bahru, the CIQ complex, for example, it is a 24/7 facilities where we have to deploy our technicians, our engineers on a 24 hours basis. They have to work in shift, okay? Especially the technical people, they have to work in shift, okay? And then the customer service people, the cast care people, the help desk people, they have to work in shift, okay? So that being said is that you will find it a little bit rough or rather tough in terms of dealing with time, your time, because you have to work day, you sometimes you have to work night and so on. That's one situation. There is another situation where you follow your normal working hours of your client, and there are clients who basically operates 9 to 5. You basically starts from 8 to 6, for example, but at least it is a normal working hours. We do have that kind of a working arrangement as well. Another thing is that we are talking about, but of course, when you are working with these normal working hours, what you do is you may be put on standby, on call. Okay, that could be the arrangement. Okay, the third arrangement would be the corporate services. That is why our work position and also job opportunity are very diverse, because we do have corporate office. Office, you mainly work 9 to 5 because it is a support function within your support service. Okay.
Okay.
So if you work as an accountant, if you work as our administrator, if you work as our procurement people, or even those in the quality system, management system, ICT, I would say you are very much work in a normal working hours in the corporate office. So that's how we look into in terms of time arrangement or time allocation of the people working in JFM.
Okay. All right. Noted. So we've been left with 5 more minutes, but I think we can take 2 more questions lah to before we
I'm
close
all yours. I'm all yours.
Okay. So this one question from Afiq Afham. Okay, Assalamualaikum, Cik Mahfud. It was a pleasure to have you sharing on these different topics. I'm from mechanical engineering background and currently working in R&D, carbon steel automotive part. Wow, interesting. What would be your best advice on skill set for me to look upon if I'm interested to join FM company? So this Afiq Afham, He works in the R&D department, carbon steel automotive,
Mhm.
and he seeks for advice, the skill set to look upon or to harness if he's interested to join the FM company. That's one question. The second one would be, okay, I think, all right, this is, what is the major challenges the FM have faced recently throughout the pandemic? And how did you and your team overcome it? All right, there's two questions.
I can see that second question coming. That is a very much question everywhere we go now. People
Yep,
ask
yep.
about the challenges. Okay. Now,
Of course.
let me answer Afiq's question first. Yeah. Afiq.
Okay.
You are an mechanical engineer. Currently working. You are already in the industry. You know, in the workforce already. And if you are interested in facility management or joining facility management organization, to me, you have had a good basic, you know, in terms of skill set or technical knowledge and qualification that you have. That works fine. Meaning you have I'm not sure how much is your experience, but at least you do have experience and you do have qualification as a mechanical in mechanical engineering. Advantages for people with mechanical with engineering background to enter facility management would be this. Remember just now one of my slide, the skill competency of FM. Okay, what you can do, or rather, you know, while you are still serving, working in outside FM organization, try to find out or seek for additional knowledge in FM, which is in this case, in Malaysia, for example, there is an opportunity for you to upskill your FM knowledge through CIDB. CIDB has this competency module that they offer, you know, a training program that they offer. That's number one. Number two, as I mentioned earlier, I think I did mention there are certain universities in Malaysia who are offering facility management competency from level, basic level up to advanced level. So I would say an engineer position like our friend Hafiq here, it would be good if you can look in terms of enhancing your skill set in FM to the intermediate level. Intermediate level would give you an advantage in terms of you know, your possibility of joining an FM organization with your engineering background. If you don't have that skill set, still fine. It's okay. At least you have the experience. At least you have the qualification. Yeah. But then again, as I said earlier, with qualification and experience alone, that means it will be very much competitive. You need to have your added advantage. And my advice is look around for this additional skill that CIDB can offer, and also some universities can offer. I mean, I think UTHM, if you are in JB, in Johor area, I think UTHM is one that is offering some courses in FM, and then UTM as well. In Klang Valley, you may go to UM or UITM. They do offer added skill set of FM specifically.
Okay.
Then the second question would be, what are the major challenges?
Yeah.
I would say the first challenge that we face during pandemic is that how to make sure that our colleague and our client get into their workplace safe. That is the most challenging part, because they come from all over the place, from their houses, yeah? And then they commute through, public transport or their own transport, and then they converge at this workplace, you know, and they will probably interact with people. So making sure the security or the safety of our client and our colleague is a challenge. And we do have cases actually, unfortunately, even though we put a very much stringent SOP, you know, That is why from the beginning of PKP number 1, in fact, when the instruction for lockdown appear for the first time, we have actually prepared ourselves with certain SOP, which we believe is the best at that point of time. Yeah? Even before the government come with various type of version of SOP thereafter lah. And until now, we do have our own workplace management guideline during pandemic time. That is how we basically, how do we overcome these challenges? We know the risks are there. It is very difficult to contain. We can't stop the client from coming to the office. We, as an essential service provider, we also have to come. So what we do is basically we put up our own guideline, workplace management during pandemic, which is now becoming our playbook, I would say. And that playbook is made available to all our projects so that they can refer. And we also share this with our clients so that they also know if they want to make reference, they can refer. That's number 1. Number 2 is basically about work arrangement, PKP 1, PKP 2, SOP, changing SOP and whatnot. It is very much tough in terms of who is coming to the office, who is not. what are the impact if we don't come at 100% and so on. So that is the challenge. Not only that, but also for our contractor, because we don't depend on our direct hire 100%. We also have our subcontractors servicing us. Helping us with the service. So this basically require a lot of good communication. Good number 1, communication with the authority. Every week, almost every week or every month, you have to get confirmation. Which one is the right SOP for you to deploy? That's number 1. Number 2 is communicating with the client side. What would be the acceptable level for us to, whether we can come in 100% or whether they can back us up with their support if we want to come 100%, because the SOP is telling us it's only half capacity. So we need to, I would say, we need to communicate consistently and all the time with the client as well as with the authority. So that is the human part of facility manager lah. You don't just the machine and equipment, you also have to talk to the. And during pandemic, this is trying time.
More drama lah.
More drama, and you basically you cannot have the Malay saying is gigi emas, kan? You don't want to talk to people. Why? Because you are shy or for some reason. But you cannot. Being a facility management, you have to talk to people. You have to interact.
If not, the information or the total operation would be in chaos lah, kan? Because you not follow SOP, you didn't meet clients' order and whatnot, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we have reached the end of our session. Okay, I've just got a message from the organizer at the city. Okay, so to summarize, the facilities management is really the unsung heroes here, because like Mr. Mahfud has presented and explained to us, it is actually from a support service or back end operation and moving or transform towards into a business partner, more or less, just to make sure that the main focus business or the industry can operate very well in maximum efficiency, maximum output, and the non-focus operation will be sub or will be handled by the facilities management company or organization. Okay, there are we have more questions actually, but unfortunately we don't have much time. So maybe before we close, you can the audience, how can they engage you, how can they reach out to you to get the answers from the question, and maybe your Facebook or LinkedIn account, or maybe emails and whatnot. I'm not really sure if you prefer to share your phone numbers or what. Okay. Anyway, yep. So
Okay.
share
Yeah.
your how can they reach you lah?
Sure, Mr. Najan. Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to basically wrap this one up. Yeah. Okay. First thing first. Thank you for coming over and listen to my session. My apology if I'm not able to answer all the questions, but this is one thing that I can promise you. Probably the organizer can share all the questions with me, and I'm more than happy to actually respond to those questions. And I hope the questions that I will answer out of this session can be addressed to those participants. So yeah, I'm willing to do that, because to me that is the way for me to say my appreciations to the viewers, listening and also focus on my session today. What else do I need to say? Okay, yeah. If you wanted to get in touch with me, definitely my advice is that number one, you can follow me on LinkedIn. Okay, that is basically very much common platform this day. You can just type my name on LinkedIn, Mahput. I'm sure you will get me. You will not get any other Mahput in this world. Okay. I can almost guarantee that not many people with Mahput name in LinkedIn. Okay, so that's one way. And also do drop by on our JFM website. On our JFM website, basically you can contact us or you can drop your inquiries there. So that is another platform that you can actually get in touch with me lah. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mahput. So before I pass it back to our lovely MC, Miss Iman, so I would like to say thank you, EduCity, thank you, organizer, thank you, Mr. Mahput. First of all, thank you, Mr. Mahput, for your very insightful and interesting session of facilities management. Okay, I'm quite jealous to only get to spend 1 hour with you. I hope we have another more session that we can discuss more about facilities management. Okay, maybe collaboration
with touch and talk more.
Yeah. Maybe we can collaborate with you can collaborate with us, Johor State Government. Okay.
Sure,
All right.
sure.
Thank you very much for the viewers, participants, attendees for spending time 1 hour plus listening to us for this topic, facilities management and the unsung heroes. And shout out to the Johorian people from Muar, from Samura, because I'm Johorian and Mr. Mahput also Johorian. EduCity also in Johor. Okay, so I have to shout it out. Okay, and if there's any mistake from myself or the speakers, on behalf, we like to apologize for if any. Okay, and if we didn't answer your question properly, like Mr. Mahput said, you can just reach out to the organizer and they will pass the question to us or to Mr. Mahput to answer on our behalf. Okay, so I think that's all. Thank you very much. I'll pass it back to Miss Iman for the closing session.
Wow, thank you for the insightful session, Encik Mahput and Encik Najahan. So with that, I would like to thank everyone here for being with us today. I am very sure that the participants have gained valuable knowledge from our session today. So before we wrap up today's session, I want to leave you with a quote: always be willing to learn new things. You can't grow if you don't learn, right? So for those who might have missed today's session, fret not, as we will upload the recording on our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for our next webinar series and follow us on our EduCity official media for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for more updates. Do turn on your notification for our upcoming events and webinar by EduCity. Till then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next series. EduCity, jaga kita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
This is where it begins. A place where she can dive into her dreams and swim against the current to reach her goal.
It is a starting point of a journey to explore uncharted territories, to use new knowledge for the best of mankind.
Immersing in sustainable lifestyle, where you can feel the breeze on your skin. It's times like this that makes you feel alive. A time to create. A time to capture precious moments.
Where dreams are no longer just a dream, but the beginnings of a new reality. This is where I harness my potential.
This is where I explore possibilities.
This is where I expand my mind.
This is where her story begins. This is EduCity.